This is the new Ford Puma ST facelift, which has recently been announced today. So I'm filming this on the 7th of February 2024. And I'll go through everything, kind of the changes around it, including how the ST now no longer has a manual, what the top of the range version is, and yeah, everything around that. But yeah, you can see this initial sort of picture that I've got on screen here of the Ford Puma ST in a nice colour and a few bits of initial nip and tuck sort of shown at the front. But yeah, there's plenty to kind of talk to about this. And a car I've driven quite a few times on the channel, you know, whether it's been the 1.5 or whether it's been the 1 litre. The 1 litre recently sort of went to a power shift in the ST, which was interesting. I found that really intriguing to drive, actually, and I'll leave that video in the description if you guys kind of want to check that out. But there's been some updated refreshes to it. First of all, there is no manual, which is mentioned here on sort of like a Piss and Heads article. Basically, no manual at all, and no 1.5. It's now only the 1 litre is the top of the range, which has around 180 brake horsepower as well. First of all, I'll go through some of the images that we've got to show here. And yeah, I like the colour in red. I like it with the black roof as well. The Puma has basically done super well in terms of like sales for Ford, probably because they've ditched the Fiesta and they've ditched the Focus. You know, it's interesting now. You know, listen, they're making an ST. That's something. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it to drive. I probably would have liked a manual, but listen, this is where we are. We're 2024 now, so this is what we've got. They've sort of tweaked a bit of the design. I really like it. I've always liked, if you've ever seen the Porsche Macan GTS, it sort of had that red-black kind of base. I'm a big fan of that. And it's a cool, quirky crossover, which is very popular. Now, I'm not a fan of Ford's images where they've got random people in the background looking all fashionable and stuff. But what I am interested in about what they've changed inside. So you can see, like, the steering wheel has now changed to, like, a bit of a flat bottom. It looks a bit quirky. They've also changed the infotainment quite heavily, actually. Integrated a new sort of screen shown there and a screen shown there. And I've been told that they've improved sort of like the processing power as well. Because from my experience of booting up Fords, whether it's been the Focus ST, Fiesta STs, Puma STs or whatever, the infotainment has been laggy. So that's been quite a big refresh and they've stuck that in there. It's actually feels like it's quite nicely integrated, I guess. You know, I've seen others in the past from sort of like Volkswagen, but because it's a Puma, it's quite a small car, it is quite imposing. Again, this is a community channel, so let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you think of kind of like the facelift and tweaks and the touches, and also the fact that we're no longer sort of having the full fat 1.5 ST model. It's down to sort of like the 1 litre power shift. Let you know your thoughts on that. Yeah, that's certainly the biggest changes kind of going through. As we look through, they've changed sort of like the front end. I really like it. I'll be honest, I do like the look of it. I think Ford's always nailed that sort of sporty, cool little hatch sort of aspects, and you certainly notice it different from the older Puma. Yeah, so, and I can't complain. Listen, I want a sporty Ford as long as you can get them, and this is what we're getting. So yeah, running through some of the pictures there, and then you've got some obviously other models in the other ranges as well, which I'll discuss a little bit too. 50,000 versions of its Fiesta-based crossover in the UK in 2023 alone. So it's their best-selling model. They're keeping other models like ST Line and ST Line X's. It's going to probably get a little bit confusing. They've obviously updated the infotainment system, and that's kind of been the main thing. And they've sort of tried to do a more sports car-style cockpit. 12.8-inch digital screen, centre touch screen as well, so you've got 2 screens inside. It's got Sync 4. Apparently twice as fast as Sync 3. That's kind of what I was mentioning before about improving the processing power. They've got 5G, voice recognition, all of that kind of stuff. 360 surround camera, which is quite cool. Handy. And yeah, and it also mentions it's got the mild hybrid setups. They're all sort of based around the 1 litre petrol engine, and they've just kind of different tunes and different guys. You can get an ST power shift, which isn't the full fat Puma ST, and that's the one with 166 brake horsepower. That's also the heaviest version of the Puma, weighing at nearly 1,400 kilos, which is really heavy, because I think that's because of like the hybrid system which is involved in it. Prices start from 25 grand, and actually on prices, I'll head to the Ford configurator because these are the ones that you can get: the titanium, the ST line, the ST line X, and the full ST. The titanium starts from 26,500 and the ST starts from 33,000. We'll go straight to the ST and configure that as if we're purchasing one. There's the 1 litre mHev 170 horsepower, 7-speed, which I was talking about. Front wheel drive, 7.4 seconds to 60. There you go. Colour, you can get quite a few. Agate black, desert island blue. You can also get Cactus Grey, Fantastic Red. I like Fantastic Red. I think you're going to get a sporty Ford. Get it in Fantastic Red. Interior, you've obviously got that new interior going in there. It doesn't look like there's really much configuration you can kind of do. If I'm honest with you, it's kind of as is. You know, you're looking to configure it in the same way as I am. There's not that much because it's just easier, I guess. You can add the panoramic roof, which is quite a nice thing. It'll probably add to a little bit more weight, but potentially make the car look a little bit more airy. Contrasted painted black roof. I quite like the sounds of that, actually. Detachable tow bar. Why not? 550 quid, 500 quid and £1,000 for the sunroof. It can add up the price. But yeah, generally you're looking at about sort of, well, 34,335 with just that one option added. And that's, well, actually with the colour is of Fantastic Red is a little bit more, and the contrasting black roof is a little bit more. Be sure that you can get discounts on these if you try your luck around the dealers, or potentially try services such as, say, like Drive the Deal or things like that. Here's a bit more about what was spoken about the Puma ST ditching the manual and going to an EV soon. But the Firecracker ST is no more. Yeah, I mean, I drove that 1 litre. It didn't feel like an ST line. It felt it felt like an ST line plus. And it is the top of the range one, so you can't really complain. That's what we're getting. I hope to drive, I've driven the 1.5 as well, and I'll leave that in the description just so you guys get a bit of an overview on that. And again, the same kind of stuff is kind of suggested here about the car, and going through the images too. It's an interesting new kind of concept that Ford are going to. For me, it feels like they're just hanging on by the, like, just as much as they can in terms of keeping the, you know, Ford performance alive. That's probably one of my favourite images of the Puma, actually. And yeah, a few little nip and tuck changes. Unfortunately, a lot of the pictures, they're always dark and it's always hard to tell. So I kind of need to see it in person, and I hope to get the opportunity to share it on the channel too. But the biggest changes are definitely around the screen, around the wheel, a few around the touches, around the model lineup as well. It's a lot more simplified, and a bit around the performance too. I always loved the way like fast Fords looked, but how it drives is a big thing. It doesn't look like they've changed anything with the suspension or anything around that side. It's all fully ST. It's just kind of the engine. And yeah, thoughts in the comments below of what this is like. Yeah, what do you think? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you sort of like content that this is all we're going to get and it's sort of like a dying breed? Or are you thinking potentially there's rivals out there which offer a little bit more now? People in the UK love a crossover, and this is a fast Ford crossover that you can buy today. Very much a community channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you think around the pictures. And yeah, I'm happy to get involved as well. And like, share, subscribe, and plenty more content to come.